Welcome back, everybody. The Grand Tactician, Civil War, Gruntpa Gaming. This is episode 16 of our viewer unit only Federal Summer 61 campaign using the a.o.m mod. Now, just a quick reminder before we go into anything else. If you are just a viewer, you do not even need to be a member, just a viewer of the channel, and you like a brigade in one of my armies, please let me know in the comments below. Type of unit, state it's from, weapons, uniforms, or officers, and I'll oblige on all accounts if possible. And if you do have a backstory or would like to write stories for your unit as campaign goes along, those are very much appreciated as they do help with the narrative of the entire campaign just outside of my character's viewpoint. Also, on top of that, if you're one of my 33% of returning viewers who are not subscribed to the channel, please think, if you're returning, I must be doing something right, so please think about hitting that subscribe button while you're here. All right, moving on. Last episode, we did have the Battle of Fort Washington. And every time I think my phone's on silent, I know it's not one of my videos if you don't hear the phone go off at least once. So, we had the Battle of Fort Washington, where Beauregard attempted to retake Fort Washington, cutting off the army to the east from the capital, along with their new construction. We did see them off quite handily. It was a very, very one-sided battle. Outside of that, there really wasn't much going on. We're still awaiting the construction of the fort on the Delaware Peninsula. That's 29 days away. The new fort at Akai Landing, because the engineers are not constructing, is still 97 days away. But the engineers will take over that construction once they're done with this one. So hopefully that'll speed it up a little bit. Because of what we were doing over here and ignoring McClellan for the time being, we have unmasked Frederick and the bottom of the Shenandoah Valley down by Harper's Ferry, but I do believe my army's able to handle that in the meantime. Army of the Ohio has taken Grafton. They're kind of stuck in place right now until their readiness comes back up into at least the green, because Marietta's next objective, but that is rebel-held territory, so I need them. I can get them into the yellow, move them there, but I want them in the green, because I know there's a rebel corps there. You don't see it on the map, but I know there's one there, so we don't want to be too low of readiness while we hit it. Army of Mississippi is in Louisville, which we have taken from the rebels along with the supply depot there. He's in the yellow, but Buell is kind of stuck in place for now until operations in Western Virginia and Ohio are complete. His flank needs to be covered. So I do need this army kind of on the move here pretty soon. Hopefully we'll be ready to go again by the beginning of June. And we can get them into Marietta and hopefully down to Charleston without too much issue, and then have this flank secured. But also, it looks like they have the Van Dorn's Corps of the Army of Alabama headed in their direction. So it looks like we might have a fight for Louisville. And we still do have the Army of Illinois Longstreet's Corps. There's two corps in the Army of Illinois. Longstreet's one of them. The other corps is somewhere around here. We did fight them off. I don't know where they have gone off to, but they are there somewhere. And the new Cavalry, Independent Cavalry Corps, is now forming up in Missouri. I accidentally placed them in Missouri, and they are led by Oliver O. Howard. So it's made up strictly of the 4th Raider Division plus one battery of horse artillery. And it's going to take them 26 days to transfer here from Tradoc. So they're not going to be ready to go until around end of the first week of June is when they should be ready to go. And I'll get them down to Illinois and start harassing Longstreet. We don't have the numbers to take them on, but we can harass them at least. In Tradoc, we are still waiting for the rest of the Liberty Legion to form up. So the Valkyries are 5 days away. The 1st Suffrage Brigade is 12 days away. 1st Female Battery is formed along with the Blue Storm Brigade. Both of these become part of that division into the new corps. And the Freedmen Engineers are going with them also, and they are formed up. 1st Indiana Rifles are 7 days away from forming up. And they're going to be taking the place in line in the division the Freedom Fighters came out of. Fort Washington Garrison is about 7 days away from completion. And the new garrison, because the fort's not named yet, is just called the garrison. It's 31 days away. And as I said just a few moments ago, if you are watching the series and you'd like a brigade in the armies, just let me know in the comments below, and I will happily oblige you. All right, Chesapeake Squadron is kind of holding steady. We only have the 3 ships in it right now, as we're only allowed to add 1 per month, as we do not have a draft. So slowly ships are coming back online. So he's not blockading as well as the last fleet was, but he is blockading a little bit. And East Coast Squadron, how are we looking? Oh, we finally got that 3rd perk, so we got to give them Marines. Amphibious landings, that's it. So when we go bombard the forts again, we can actually hopefully capture the fort. Gives us a chance of capturing it. And how are we looking? All but 2 of the ships are back up to 90%. They're all actually in port repairing right now. If they're grayed out, they're in ports repair. So even at 82%, I'm kind of willing to send them back out again. Take a look at them another couple of days, see if anything is grayed out, and send them back down to try and take Fort Hatteras again. Start taking down the outer banks from the rebels and blockading the ports here using the fortifications. All right, I think that covers everything for right now, so we're going to go jump into the historical record. And just as a reminder to everybody, these videos are always chapters, so you can jump around to whichever part you do so choose. From the Journal, General Gruntpa, dated 16 May, 1862. In conjunction with General Meade, we have decided to move things along on the Potomac front. We are still awaiting the completion of a new fort on the Delaware Peninsula, so General Meade has moved to retake Fort Washington and begin the construction of a new fort at Alki Landing. This, of course, means that Frederick and the Shenandoah Valley are unmasked, but I'm fully confident my army can cover the region in the interim. After retaking Fort Washington and beginning construction of a new fort, General Beauregard moved in behind Meade to retake Fort Washington and cut Meade off from the capital. As a matter of course, I moved forward to bring him to battle and relieve the fort. The engagement was short, with the rebels showing little sign of wanting to bring on a general engagement. After ascertaining the position of rebel forces along Dogan's Ridge and around the Matthews House, I ordered the Cavalry Division to Van Pelt House to further scout and screen the Army's advance. Cyan rifles engaged with the bulk of the rebel cavalry around the Van Pelt House and saw them off with well-directed fire, going some way to removing the stain to their honor received at the previous battle. I had the Irish Division attack down the road that Beauregard's left flank was straddled upon. These had cleared out the rebel units on that flank. I halted their advance to redress lines. I ordered up the Whiskey Division to continue the attack, but they were unable to get into position before nightfall. Once again, General Daywood has shown vast improvements in his command abilities. I do not fault him for the delay. I fully lay that at Trump's feet. He somehow managed to entangle his brigade with that of Musis, managed to slow their advance, preventing their engagement before nightfall. I do not know what Trump was thinking. Maybe he was trying to rush ahead and grab some glory. I know he is anxious to see his name in the papers for political reasons. He is starting to worry me more and more. Sadly, Beauregard managed to slip back across the Potomac during the night. Now that the threat to Fort Washington and Meade is removed for the time being, I plan on bringing my army back to the capital for a few days, and then push back across the Potomac to Alexandria, and hopefully secure the flank of Fort Washington and the new construction. An article from the Daily Courier, May 16 edition. Headline: Ami Vargas take divisional command. Ami Vargas, the very woman who has been at the forefront of the political sphere of late, has now, according to our sources in the War Department, been granted the command of an entire infantry division in the Union Army. After much speculation regarding the whereabouts of our first female officer, our reporter Jay Lewis was able to find her, and we were lucky enough to have been granted an interview with this incredible woman ourselves. Our reporter asked her about the rumors regarding her division, not only employing women soldiers, but even entire units of solely female fighters, to which she stated the following: "Women have been on the front line of this war since the initial Confederate blitz across the border when the war broke out, yet seemed to be the only one that was allowed to put on a blue uniform and march against the gray-wearing traitors. I thought that it was, to put it nicely, beyond wrong that these women, some of whom had even formed small militias armed with outdated weaponry, with the sole intent to resist Confederates at all cost, be denied the ability to serve their country. to be denied the opportunity to avenge the many brothers, fathers, husbands, and sons who have been injured or killed in this war simply because God flipped the coin on the day of the birth. That is why I put out a message to the women of this country, rather than simply protest just to be seen as equals to men. Sign on to the Army, march and fight alongside them until they have no choice but to see you as an equal. Together, both the men and women in the United States Army will bring an end to the Confederacy. Jay then proceeds to bring up the idea of mothers abandoning their families to serve against the Confederates, to which Army would scoff and reply, I'm not saying every woman should ditch their responsibilities to run off and play war. The mothers back on the home front, making sure that the hatred these Confederates must have been raised on does not take root, are also frontline soldiers in a different kind of war. The Confederates' abhorrent use of slave labor and explicitity of lack of humanity shown in their character to me notes a lack of empathy to your fellow man. If I were a neighbor to any of these individuals' colored skin, I would follow the Bible's teaching to love thy neighbor rather than think to myself, they look different. Clearly they are not worth the labor they can provide me. Jay also wrote of enemies' rage rising slightly when it came to discussion of slavery, knowing with clear disdain for the practice. Jay lastly asked if Army had left behind any family serving the Army. And Army would quickly reply by saying, back home, I have my lovely husband, Larkin Vargas. He was badly injured during the Mexican-American War, where he lost his left leg serving this country. And if you truly believe I left him behind to serve in this army and when it needed people the most, you will find my husband to be the biggest supporter of my division to fight the Confederates with more than just speeches. Once again, thank you to everybody who does submit diaries, letters, newspaper clippings in for the historical record. They are much, much appreciated. They had a lot of enjoyment, at least for me. I don't know if everybody's about listening. A lot of enjoyment for me in help telling the story of this campaign. And I do have a few on the back burner that have not reached yet, but we do have some background storylines going that we just haven't hit the apex to yet. So those are still awaiting entry. All right, I think we have covered everything for now, and I think I've been talking for well more than long enough. So I'm not sure if anything's going to be happening here around Washington again. So it looks like our next engagement might be at Louisville, but I could be wrong. So I'll be back with the next incident. All right, it's now May 21st, and we're getting another engagement at Washington, D.C. I was actually not expecting this at all. Looks like Beauregard was ready to go sooner than expected, and he tried crossing into Washington. So Bobby Lee's in charge this time, and he's bringing Johnston's Corps along for the fight. So this is actually the first time we've seen the Army commander on the field with two corps coming at us. The other corps is still 22 hours away, all the way down at Manassas Junction. It's 2:50 in the morning, so yeah, hopefully we can have this fight done before this corps shows up. But even with both corps, they don't heavily outnumber us. So we're bringing 18,714 infantry, 1,618 cavalry, and 31 guns to their 25,290 infantry, 2,972 cavalry, and 113 guns. Once again, this is... cut this in half, and that's what they're going to have on the field, except for the guns. Most of the guns are in Beauregard's corps. I honestly don't think he should have the readiness for this fight. There's no way in hell he recovered faster than I did. I could be wrong. But, let's go show Beauregard the error of his ways once again. And welcome, my grunts, to the... I believe it's the 7th Battle of Washington, D.C. I could be wrong. I did have a list with all the battles written down on them in order. And I think I accidentally threw it out when I was cleaning my desk. I think it was from the last series. So I got to go through and rewrite that list off of every episode. But I think it's the 7th battle. I could be wrong. So we are on the defensive. We are defending back here at Left Fork, which has been our defense area the last few times we've been on this map. We're coming in from the east side. And rebels coming down here along Pierce Mill Road. And that's their only entry location. So that's going to give them a few choices. We actually have a very large deployment area here. So I'm thinking about heading them off for the most part. Or should I defend back here? Honestly, I should defend back here. We do have a nice slope here. I tend to defend along here and along here, but maybe I should just defend back here a little more this time. Try to use the slope to our advantage, but I don't want to give them this fence line either. It is 2:30 in the morning. Now, do we have a better accountability of when their reinforcements are going to show up? 15 hours. Okay. We have the entire day before the other corps shows up. Daywood. We're going to have you defend here. Put a Moosis right on the fence line here. Stockbrokers next to you. And I'm going to have the 20th New York over here. I'm going to be placing the cavalry, strung the cavalry out this way. Then the Reaper division. I'm going to hold the Irish in reserve since they led the assault last time. I'm going to put Berdan right here at an angle. 35th right here. And the Reaper rifles right here. I may have to split up the cavalry. So last time they had this attack path, they actually put most of their forces through over here while sending their cavalry and some infantry out this way. Actually, you know what? We are going to put the Irish division in line over here. Where's your morale low? They did take the biggest beating at the last battle. Kind of makes sense. Place you guys back here. Same with the Scion rifles. Sure, these charge icons are turned off at the start. As soon as they play, we'll dismount and put them in a loose order. Engineers. Maybe start by building some breastworks here for these guys and come over and do it for the Irish. We do have 2 full-strength batteries now. I'll place you here, pink misters. And let breakfast under fearing. We're actually going to place up here. Once the sun comes up, we should have some better sightings. Drop you guys back just a bit. Give the engineers some room to work. Trump, you better not screw me over this time. I'm somewhat happy with this. Not the best sightings for the artillery. Just lay this division down. Get away from battle to start. Essentially the same layout we had previous battles here. And I know they can see over this unit. The last time I had a battery up here, they could fire over them, so let's move you guys down just a little bit more. All right. Now we just got to get the breastworks built and wait for the rebels to show themselves. All right. It is now a little after 4 in the morning, and I did just have a sighting of a dust. You don't see it now, but there was a dust trail over here. So I think the rebel cavalry's trying to sweep in behind me. So I do have the cavalry pulling back a little further onto this hillside here. I may have my gun switching that direction. Yep, there's that dust trail again. Yep, that's cavalry. I can hear him. Like breakfast. It is breakfast time, so swing over this way. Now we could feed some of that lead breakfast to the rebels. Boys, Vegisac, get on that freshly built power pit. Don't get everybody laying down. So 20th New York, the 1st New York Engineers built this pretty quickly as they're now level 2 engineers. So come over here to build some breastworks for the Irish division. Now get them up to level 3. You'll see how quickly these things build once they're level 3. This section here just took around 2 hours-ish. So once they're level 3, that'd be an hour or less for that little section. Here we go. Their morale's not good. Hanover Light Dragoons. They did get handled at the last fight by the Scion Rifles. This is Beauregard's Corps on the field right now, so they're not going to be in very good condition from the last fight. Actually, looking up here, they're at 33 morale. They did have 31 morale, so it's gone up slightly. Ours is at 55. You'd think it'd be higher, but our readiness was still on the low side, because we hadn't fully recovered from the last fight either, but they are definitely in no condition to fight. So I don't know why Bobby Lee pushed them across into D.C. And infantry's still a while away. Not sure where they are headed to, but we can definitely get them headed off wherever they are going. I want to kind of push onto this fence line, but it is down slope from over here, so I'd rather keep them back here and let the rebels come down slope of us. That's if they come down the road. They're still continuing to the right. Really? Interesting. Yep, they are halting now. I think they're starting to realize they're not getting around us. I have the interior lines. I can shift very quickly. Are they going to try and move the whole army around that way? That would be interesting. That would be interesting to see. We are fighting Lee and not Beauregard. We got to remember that. There's 2 corps on the field, but they do have their army commander here. Looks like they're shifting down this road here. Right now, our interest is mostly this cavalry over here that we've now lost sight of. Oh, there they are. There you go. Feed them some breakfast. Looks like we already got a hit. 5 casualties, 20 pounders, well worth the money. Well worth it. Let's get you boys laid down now. You're on the breastworks. And looks like there's some more cavalry up here. So kind of all over the place. But looks like it'll be a little bit before anything else happens, so I'll be back. All right, it's now 4:50 in the morning, and we do have another cavalry brigade spotted here and infantry coming down the main road. So I am shifting the lead breakfast back in position here. And they're giving orders for the pink misters to shift over. I don't know how well their siding is going to be over here, but I'm shifting them over anyway because we don't need them just facing off against one cavalry battalion. I may just send the whiskey worshippers out to go hit them. And for now, we're going to mount up the nuggets and go after this one cavalry battalion out here because if they're the only thing there, we're just going to get rid of them. Keep on coming, boys. As soon as I hit this fence line, we can stand up the swing moves with those sharps and give them a nice little welcome. Yeah, worshippers, go get them. That's some alacrity. I like to see that. Now they're doing something. Yeah, I hate when that happens. Gamble's been a little bit of a disappointment, I'll be honest. I don't know if anybody's wondering what today's battle brew is. It is Highland Park 12-year-old. Need to, now I think about it, I gotta replenish my scotch stocks before prices go astronomically high on us for the short term.
Keep it steady now.
They're doing the same damn thing over here. Come on. These guys will break probably after one or two volleys. I won't even dismount the nuggets. It sounds like the whiskey worshippers have engaged.
Keep your position, Private. Reload. Aim low, boys.
And these guys must have mixed cavalry weapons if they are advancing. Yep. Yeah, they're done. As soon as they saw us coming, they should have dismounted. I'd stay on them, see them off. And it sounds like the nuggets have engaged. You ready to stand up, Sweemoose? Give it to them. '20th, get ready to give it to them. Nah, still just out of range. Stood him up a little too soon. So if that cavalry pretty handily, 10 casualties in the worshippers, not bad. I think we did way more than that to them. Oh, you're showing 150 casualties on that regiment or brigade, whatever it is at this point. And there goes that cavalry regiment. Too far away for us to see what we did to them. All right, Nuggets, come back to the hill. Count the battery, focus on their artillery. They have not received orders to get into line yet, really. They've already taken 750 casualties. That's almost half their force. That was a 2,500-man brigade, I think. also had them fill in the hole over here. Almost 50% casualties, and they're still not broken, really. And they are a 0-star brigade. Bobby Lee, what are you doing to your army? Anything else out on the flanks? I thought the main thrust would come in from over here like it did last time, but I guess not. But that's why I put the Reaper Division there. We're going to have you switch out. You Musis. Shift everybody over. So, I love the Sharps, but they go through their ammo very quickly. Won't go as quick. Once their sharpshooter level goes up, their firing rate will drop and they'll be even more accurate. It looks like we're going to break Lee's army right here, at least Beauregard's corps, not the entire army. So I have to see if Johnson's going to come up and fight us. They are effectively keeping us locked down in the capital region, though. Let's put you guys at short range so you don't stop and fire along the way. Boys can fire at any time. There you go. You see the firing's already slowed down. They're throwing the 13 shots already. Leveling done. Good. Looks like they're taking some counter battery fire. Already got them up to 14% losses. I think you're going to start withdrawing here soon. That's one thing, a lot of comments saying last battle AI got smart with the overnight withdrawal, but that's actually just the way it's kind of programmed. Like once they get within like 4 to 5% of a major loss, they will start their withdrawal. Second Virginia. Now firing at detachments. These guys just suck up ammunition. Remember, Dan's. Finish whatever parade ground nonsense you're doing. They're still coming forward, but I don't think they've just received the retreat order yet. Dan's, what the hell are you doing? I was hoping to get a level 2 sharpshooter this bout. Doesn't look like that's going to happen. Another cavalry brigade and one that was retreating. Really no reason to put them on the breastworks, but they've been built, so might as well have them use them. And New York Engineers at level 3. Oh, and I did not put in my engineer flag in time. Oh well. Let's find us some. We use the signal corps flag for them.
Time now, men.
I really think they should get the flags based off the stars and not the level of their chosen skill. I don't know why they're not firing at this detachment. We'll swing the sweet moves in over here on the fence, get them off the line of fighting. I don't know why we're not firing at these boys. I think Lee might just keep coming, but it's going to be a little bit yet, so I'll be back. All right, it's now 6:40 in the morning. I thought the rebels would have started withdrawing already, but it seems like old Bobby Lee here is intent on destroying his artillery and cavalry arm. We did see off one more brigade of cavalry that came up, and they disappeared very quickly. And I've just moved skirmishers up from Vegistic and Trump to shoot these boys up as they come up the road here. Try and get this done a little more quickly. I mean, as you look at this road here, this is the bloody lane right here. This is just nothing but death and destruction on this road. Okay, more cavalry and artillery coming down. So it's like they want to give us horse meat for supper and all their guns and long ones. Virginia. Down to 100 men. That AI hasn't been doing it, but like once units hit a certain level, it's supposed to get auto disbanded, and it really hasn't been doing that. Just low on ammo. Once I see off this battery, we'll pull them back to get more. Hampton Legion Cavalry, 350 men, 12th Virginia, another 350. Cuts Battery, Dance's Battery, Holman's Battery, and the Amherst Light Artillery. We've only seen the 2 brigades of infantry.
Hey, don't just reload.
He's got as much infantry as I do, and we've only seen the 2 brigades of it. I have no idea where they are. All right, recall your skirmishers. How are you on ammo? You guys are low too. Let the Burdans handle this next cavalry regiment. Oh, and there's Lee. That cavalry regiment's heading off this way, so hopefully they run into Trump. Oh, there's a rebel infantry. Where were they going originally? We have them at 18% casualties. A little more and we'll have the major victory. And it looks like they want to give it to us. Trump's been about to stand up as soon as that skirmishers come back in. You know what? Let's just go grab that major victory. Forward, boys. I didn't order... Trump, what the hell are you doing? I did not just order you forward. I was about to, but not in that direction. Get that cavalry right to your front. Yeah, at least 12th Virginia's smart. Yeah, we could take down Lee. He deserves it, especially after this. How do we not see that cavalry brigade? It's right there. Legislate, come join. Should have ordered you up already. That's why you're not near your division commander. There's a major victory, and they are still not retreating. Wow. There they go. 13 minutes on the clock. Do as much damage as we can. We need to dissuade them from trying to come at the capital again for a short time, at least for the rest of the month. So I can get the armies moving again. How's my artillery done? Oh, they've leveled up nicely. I think Mistress have taken some counter battery, so they've lost a gun. Possibly 2. Maybe they should have 16. They got 14. Okay, Trump, we'll let you keep pushing forward. We know you want your name in the papers. Let's give you the chance. Science, mount up. Give me this battery. My battery was already knocked out by my artillery, I'm guessing. Up there went that detachment. Those guns belong to us now. Look at the amount of artillery that's been left behind on this road. Ooh. Trump, I know I gave orders for you to continue advancing down. What the hell are you doing? I just think you taking forever to come forward. Here we go. And that is another lopsided victory in our favor. This time, Bobby Lee's in charge, and oof, I think he did worse than Beauregard did. Like I said, we didn't see the bulk of his infantry. They were off doing God knows what out on the right flank. I think they were trying to come around and flank us, but wow. He just fed us his cavalry and artillery like wholesale. Disgusting. So we took down 2,500 of their. Remember, one corps wasn't on the field, so these numbers are a bit skewed. So you kind of got to chop them in half. So 2,500 or 27,000 infantry, 700 or 3,200 cavalry. We got 70 of their 150 guns. Total loss of 3,500 of their 32,000 men. We lost 138 of our 18,709 infantry, 2 of our 1,618 cavalry. We lost 1 of our 31 guns. Total loss of 151 of our 20,783 men. All right, combat reports. Engineers did not fight. Gotcha Guard. Cyan Rifles didn't get into it. Nugget Squad did 36 to cavalry. Cyan Rifles lost 1 dead, 1 wounded. I guess they took some artillery fire from that battery down by the creek. That's it. 1 dead, 1 wounded. Reaper Division. The Sweemoos did 1,857 in infantry. Oh, this is Whiskey Viking Division, my bad. I tried to hit the Reaper Division. Reaper Division 35th. They didn't get anything. Berdan's Sharpshooters did 170 to infantry, 252 to cavalry, 124 to artillery, total 555. Losses. 35th Infantry lost nobody. Berdan's lost 2 dead. Reapers lost nobody. Whiskey Viking Division, Sweemoo Brigade did 1,857 to infantry, 90 to artillery, total 1,947. 20th New York did 246 to infantry, 38 to cavalry, 12 to artillery, for total 296. The Stockbrokers did 9 to infantry, 193 to cavalry, 23 to artillery, for total 225. Division total 2,468. Losses, Sweemoo Brigade, 5 dead, 53 wounded, 11 missing, total 69, aggregate strength 1,404, 5% casualties. 20th New York, 2 dead, 6 wounded, 4 missing, for total 12, aggregate strength 2,186, 1% casualties. Stockbrokers, 9 dead, 29 wounded, 7 missing, total 45, aggregate strength 2,283, 2% losses. 126 men lost in the division for 2% losses. Irish Division did not fight. Oh, wait. The one regiment did. The Whiskey Rebels, or the Whiskey Worshippers, did 132 to Cavalry, losing 1 man dead and 9 wounded in that little scuffle. All right. We didn't lose any officers. Let's see if we got any of the rebel officers. We're fighting Beauregard's Corps. Colonel Jennifer to Gooklin Light Dragoons is wounded. A bunch of separate brigades still, they haven't divisioned them up. Wounded Brigadier General Lomax of the Laurel Brigade. It looks like we got 2 of their officers at least. Figured we got more of the artillery commanders because we were just ripping the floor with them. How does Lee have more experience than me when he only has 2 battles under his belt? Interesting. You know, I was hoping he would get shot, but you know what? He's not a good commander in this universe, so it's better to leave him where he is, especially after a showing like this. Best to leave him where he is, because he'll do more harm to the rebel cause where he is, unless we take him out and a better commander takes over. I'll get closed out of here, and I'll see you all at the newspaper screen. Glorious victory at the Battle of Washington, D.C., the 7th Battle of Washington, D.C., or should I say the massacre at Washington, D.C. Oosh. There's a lot of dead cavalrymen, horseflesh, and artillerymen left on that field. 7th Battle of Washington has ended with the Army of Washington retreating panic. That is right, the rebel army is the Army of Washington. The Army's reported suffered total casualties at 3,548 men. There are 515 killed and 1,605 captured. Our casualties total 151 men with 22 dead, 22 missing, and the rest are wounded. We captured 1,200 rifles and 18 guns from the field and sent 1,500 soldiers off to our prison camp, which once again, once it's filled up, we will catch and release. And doesn't look like anybody took any blame for that loss. None of our men became famous out of it. Okay, that's a first. Major victory for us, and nobody got famous, and nobody took any blame on the rebels' side. Let's see if Johnston's Corps follows up. Are they going to remain in position? Because if they follow up, that'll just be continuation of the same battle, and we'll just keep going. If not, you know, wait for 6 a.m. and see if they start moving. I drug my readiness back down again. We're just recovering our readiness. Does not look like Johnston's Corps is going to follow up, abandoning Beauregard's Corps to its fate. Let's pause that here. Let's see what we got going on around the rest of the map. Army Ohio, almost halfway to yellow. I want them a little bit into the green before we start moving them on Marietta. Army of Alabama is still on its way. There's Van Dorn's Corps just south of Louisville. And there's that other corps that we were missing. They took Covington, Kentucky. That was in our control, is now under rebel control. So I really need this army down here. I need it here sooner rather than later, but operations must continue as planned. We're already shifting as it is. We're already shifting our plans as is. We're trying to keep it within the plan. All right. How's this fleet looking? I think they're almost ready to go. 85, 84. I think they're ready to go out again, but we'll do that next episode. We've had our one battle for this episode once again. So, once again, if you're new, if you're a return, if you're not yet subscribed, please think about hitting that subscribe button. If you do, remember that bell icon so the next video comes out. Following along in the series and enjoying it, don't forget to bayonet that like button, butt stroke that comment section. Once again, you only have to be a channel viewer, not even a member. If you'd like a brigade in one of my armies, please let me know in the comments below. Type of unit state it's from, weapons, uniforms, officers, and I'll oblige on all counts if possible. And comments, please let me know the good, the bad, the ugly. I'm always looking to improve on what I am doing. And I will see you all at the next episode. Stay grumpy.